if that's going to caption this now for everyone or if that's just for the video. But okay. All right. Hello. Happy Wednesday. I've been gone for a while and have been working on catching up on things. If you sent me a message, I think I responded to everyone. But if you sent me something that you need my response on and you did not get it, send me another message so I can make sure that anything you guys need that I took care of already. I have a few different announcements to go through, and then I've got the Roxen updates that I'm sure you're all waiting for. So as you probably saw in your email, we updated to the new InDesign today. I apologize for the short notice. I misunderstood and thought it was next week, and then I got a message this morning saying, "Did you let everybody know?" And I was like, no, because I was going to tell them today. So I have some information on some of the new features in the new version of InDesign that I'm going to email out later so that you all can look at that, get an idea of what's going on. I'm going to see if I can find some information on the new Photoshop as well. I don't know if some of you had already updated to that, because your Photoshop you can update whenever you want. But for those of you in the Fargo area, IT has added a couple more hotel desks, they call them. So essentially, if you wanted to come work in the office for a few days, or if you're not in the Fargo area but you're visiting and you like want to hang out with me, I'll buy you lunch or dinner, depending on what shift you work. We've got some desks here now. The only ones that were there before were just for if you had the laptop. So now we've got some regular ones. So come on down and hang out with me. I'm lonely. It's just Joe here. Just a reminder of the policy, because it came up a couple of times lately, that we want to approve all PTO requests. That's really something we want to do, but we can't always do it. So when you know that you're going to need a day off, ask for it sooner rather than later, because if we have to tell someone no, it's going to be the person who asked latest. So just want to make sure we're all clear on that being a policy. Meredith, as you guys know, we adjusted her position a while ago to something that reflects more of a content side of things. She's been working on the digest, stuff like that. Her official title change is going through now, so you guys will see that in that weekly HR email. So it doesn't mean that Meredith's leaving us. Her position title is just changing to network content editor, just to better reflect the work that we've got her doing. Pod members, there's a glitch in Brightspot that when stories are scheduled, it's not always actually updating the story. So anytime you click in a Brightspot story and it's scheduled, make sure that you're always exporting a new version and then taking that timestamped version that's new, just to make sure we don't miss anything. And then we have had several issues lately with kind of across the board with multiple pubs with regards to sports and sports content either coming in late or making changes to their sports, considerably after their deadline, or, they had a 2-story sports cover planned, and then a few hours later, they just added a 3rd story and didn't let anybody know. So I'm going to be talking to all the editors tomorrow, and one of the things that I'm going to bring up is, budgets are supposed to be done earlier in the day. We're going to go with the information that we have, and then if stuff is changed later, one, we need communication of that. We need sports editors answering questions in Slack when we have questions. I know we've had some issues with that. And essentially, if there's a change that's not communicated to us, or stuff's late, it's after deadline, that there's a chance that it's just not going to make it. I don't expect us to continue to remake covers. I'm pretty sure that was not like a breaking football game. It was a surprise. So I'm going to let them know that we're doing that. Obviously, pod editors, use your judgment on that. If they add a 3rd story to the cover and we're just not going to redo the cover, if there's room inside, we can get it inside, things like that. But just be using your judgment on that. Here. Questions on any of that stuff? Okay. The Roxen update. So we have kind of an updated timeline. Obviously, there's still a lot of things in flux, but right now, the target start date for beginning to roll out the software, the Duluth group will be the first ones that we do. We're looking at May 15th to June 1st. So end of May or very beginning of June is the target date for that. Along with that, we are doing a partial redesign, I guess we'll call it. As we talked about before, we're going to have one style for all of our newspapers instead of having Rochester and an everybody else style. The style is going to be closer to Rochester, but it'll take some of the things that we like the best from the FCC styles and change that into that. We also ran into a technical issue, and so we're not going to be using Typekit fonts. We're going to be using Google fonts. So there's some different fonts that we're going to be using. Excitingly enough, nerds, if you hear from me, we do have Nimrod for our body copy. So we're going to be able to use Nimrod as our body copy, which is a much, much better font than what we're using right now. So I'm very excited about that. The other thing is, it's not 1998. We can't only use 4 fonts because the press can't handle anything else. The presses are designed that they can do a lot more. Everything's digital now. So, okay, we have something like 1,500 fonts available. We are not going to use all of those fonts. Becca, I'm looking at you. We're not going to use all of those fonts. If you're putting together a CP, I don't want you sitting there looking through 1,000 fonts to pick the one that you like. But we're going to open up a much broader range of fonts for us to use. Paula says, I'm going to use them all on one page. You would. So, for features, for feature CP stories, the fonts that we have right now are really limiting in what you can do and how you can do things. And, again, we have the technology to do better. So I see no reason not to do better. So, we're going to do that. I think, probably I'm going to narrow it down to these are our 20 ones that we use, but, we've got a handwriting font picked out. I have one that I'm really excited about that Emily Beeman sort of poo-pooed and called it Alanis Morissette. That made me like it more, but so just a ton of great options that we can use, and I'm excited for our ability to use that. Obviously, with that comes the caveat that these are for feature stories, feature CPs. If I see you try to use a script font on a triple homicide in Fargo, obviously we're going to have a problem. Paula says, please no Comic Sans. I think, this is me, don't actually publish it, but if you're doing a page and you can make it look good with Comic Sans, again, don't run it in the paper, but send me the Comic Sans version. And if I agree that it's actually a good Comic Sans page, I'm going to send you $20. So $10 if you can do it with Papyrus, $25 for curls. So, but I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to just kind of level up what we can do. Again, we're going to be cautious about how we use that. We're going to be responsible, professional, all that kind of stuff. But I'm very excited about it. I think that was everything I have. The other thing with the design is that this is kind of part of Rochester's original design, and we've ended up getting away from it. So I want to get back to it. To do more points of entry, especially breakout boxes. They had a lot of this is what you should know from this story, or this is the main points of this story. The headlines are this is what you're going to learn in this story. A story maybe about city council, which doesn't sound exciting, but then it's if the bullet points of it are that, there was a developer there asking for $3 million in cuts, and they're going to, tear down a city park or, whatever, we can put those bullet points in a breakout box, and that helps people be more interested in it. Those entry points, They're an added design element so that the pages look more dynamic, and it also just gives us more to grab readers. So yeah, more on that soon. When Emily Beeman is done making fun of me for the Alanis Morissette font. I can bring that up because she's not here right now. So that's where we're at with that. Starting by the end of this month, it looks like we're going to do, we will be working on setting up our new skeletons inside the Roxen system. And then from there, we're also going to be working on training. It's called super users. This is, a technical term. Essentially, a few people are going to be trained in kind of all the facets of Roxen that we need to know for pod and design. And then we're going to ask those people to help train everybody else. So some of you are going to get an email from me that I'm going to ask you to help with the skeleton setup. If that's something you're really not comfortable with, let me know. And some of you are going to get an email from me asking to be on that super user team. Again, if you're not comfortable with it, let me know. Not a ton of people for each one, but we're going to have some of you working on these things so that it's more people who can answer questions than just the hub managers, more people who can do things, and we can get everything done faster. And, again, with some more input from some of you too, as to, issues and things that pop up. So, and then I'll just get to this. I know you all have questions about how Roxen is going to affect your job, potential layoffs. I feel like a broken record telling you that I don't have answers and I don't know, but there are, it's still a lot of stuff that I don't know. Over the next month, we're going to be getting a lot more into the software. And then I'm hoping to have some better answers to a variety of questions and not just this one. But I don't have a ton of information for you right now. What I can tell you is that we've discussed with HR how this is going to work. Anyone whose position is going to be eliminated will be notified. It's going to be probably 4 to 6 weeks before your final day. So you will have, some notification of things. It's not going to be an immediate end. You'll be given what your final day is. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks from that meeting to the final day. The meetings will be, all at once, and it's not going to be spread out over a couple of weeks, so all of you just have to stare at your phone. We're going to get it done quickly as best we can, and then like I said, you'll have some notice of when that last day would be if your job is affected, and then there will be severance packages for anyone whose position is eliminated, as well as PTO payout. So that's basically what I know right now. Again, as I know more, I'm going to be sharing that with you. That's where we're at right now. I know that you have a lot of questions about that I can't answer, but Mary, any update on whether buyouts will be offered before layoffs? At this point, it doesn't look like that is going to happen. If some of you are thinking that, it's your time, talk to me and we can figure something out, or Pat in HR is the contact person up there if you'd rather speak to her about it. I think we can figure something out, but we're not going to have a formal buyout package or process. So questions about any of the Roxen stuff, about Comic Sans skills? And Lily.
I was just wondering, I'm sorry if I maybe missed it. How are you kind of have an estimate of how many people might be laid off or position?
No, I have no idea right now.
Okay.
So, I know that sucks. I know it sucks to be in limbo like this. I wish I had answers for all of you and that I could help you feel better, but I just don't right now. So, other questions? Okay. Any font thoughts that you want to share before we wrap things up? Okay. As always, you guys know that I'm around if you want to talk, if you have concerns, questions, things like that. Obviously, I'm here. Again, some things I won't have an answer for you, but, we can still absolutely talk through it if you'd like to. So, all right. Yep, Matt.
Yeah, like the pod peeps to stick around if they could.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Talk to you later. Matt, do we need to keep the recording for the pod people, or is this just?
No, that's
Okay.